Hello, my love. Do you feel like you're settling, even in the slightest way? Your life might be cool, your life might be okay, your life could even be good, but there's these subtleties, these subtle ways that you could be settling that you might be blinded to. Today, I want to get into clear signs that you are settling unknowingly and how you can snap right out of it and speed into your exceptional life. Let's get to it. My loves, welcome to the Refine You channel. I'm so glad you made it here. I'm so glad I popped in your timeline. It is perfect timing that you are here today. We're going to be getting into some juicy stuff. If you're new here, my name is Alicia Bradley. I am a divine oracle, which means I channel oracle message from God through the Bible specifically. You don't have to be a Christian watching this, but if you are Christian and the Bible is a source of divine truth for you, that is what I do. I'm also a miracle facilitator, a Godfidence activator, and I'm a premium coach. And I'm also a published author of my book, Refined, the fast track to becoming the faithful, conscious creator of your life. I love helping people tap into their Godfidence. And what does that mean for those of you who are new? Godfidence is that confidence that comes from deep within. It's beyond you, it's beyond your ego, it's beyond even your identity as a human. Your Godfidence is who you are, your divine truth, your divine calling, and your identity in the likeness of God. You are a walking, miraculous vessel of God, and I really love helping people tap into the flow with God. So you don't only manifest from the desires of your own self, your own mind, your own heart, but you're manifesting in alignment with God's will. It takes your manifestation skills and gifts to the next level. Many manifestation coaches are not talking about this. They leave God out of it, and they are all science-based. Or we have Christian channels who are all biblically based and don't involve the sciences, which I believe can be really helpful when developing your skills to understand how to navigate the energetics of the universe. So that's why I'm here, and I'm so happy you're here. Before we jump into the content, I wanted to announce two things. The first is when I was in Toronto with Shaylin, who is founder of Bay for Life, we co-facilitated an intensive workshop that I am so excited to actually have available for you all today. So if you go on the link in my description box, you can access that. It's activations and artistic expressions intensive workshop. It was deep, it was powerful, it was intimate, and it was so juicy. And for those of you who could not make it to the Toronto event or couldn't make it to the online event, the live event, we have the replay. It's available. Check it out. I got you. It's on a 50% off promo for the first week that I publish it. So catch it before this next 7 days, or else it goes to the full fee. But I really wanted to offer it to those of you who missed it, who really want to see it, and who are really eager to do this work. So you can use this promo code Godfidence to get 50% off of that workshop for the next 7 days. Let's go. The second thing I want to announce is a fun discount I have for you for Ana Luisa Jewelry. We have 20% off. I'm rocking their hoops today. I got these new hoops in the mail just yesterday, and I have this beautiful bracelet from Ana Luisa that I've shown before. I love this brand for so many reasons. It is a conscious brand. They're eco-friendly. They just started their 2-year warranty on all of their products. So all of their products are gold plated. So it's not full solid gold, which allows you to get these products for $39 and up, first of all. Second of all my pieces I absolutely love. They have not tarnished. They have not worn down, nothing. They are so solid, and they really are beautiful pieces, and I'm loving these hoops. Before I got like the small hoops, but I am like really feeling these hoops. And they have you looking fine with a peace of mind. Hello, yes. Their products are really curated to feel like luxury, to feel like these specially curated pieces for you. They are such a vibe, and I will continue to promote them because I love them. And I really love supporting brands that I am behind, that I believe in their mission, and I believe in their quality of product. And Ana Luisa is all of that and everything else. So if you want your 20% off discount, use RefinedYou20. Get your discount, y'all. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss out on these pieces and this promo. So let's get into this topic about settling. This is a big topic. I see a lot of people doing it unknowingly. That's the thing. So we're past, if you're watching this, if you resonate with my frequency, you are past the stage of fully settling, I hope and I affirm for you. And if not, we're gonna knock you out of that stage today, of fully settling for like major toxicity, abuse, disrespect, like overt behavior that clearly is not aligned with you. We're beyond that. Hopefully you have gotten to a place where you are more stabilized, where you are not surrounded by toxicity. You may have it in your family, you may see it, but it's not pulling you down, weighing you down so deeply. And if it is, be sure to go to the beginning of my videos and truly binge watch my videos, because you will evolve with the videos and you will be able to take this content in the space that I'm talking about, because you can get there, okay? You can make a good life just from watching these videos. But the thing that I've noticed people, and that's why we call this refined, and that's why I love helping people refine their lifestyle and just their mind, their body, their spirit, and everything, and align it with God, because there's many times that we don't realize we're settling. We don't realize it. So we become so familiar and so comfortable in the settle that it's kind of hard to detect. So I'm here to help you decode and understand if there's any area in your life that you are unknowingly settling for, and really helping you snap out of it and shift so that you can align with your heaven on earth. You can align with your highest timeline that's available for you now. I have been channeling so much, you all, through my oracle work. And these oracles of God have been channeling through the Bible so much, specifically these past few weeks. And just a few days ago, something channeled through so potently and so precisely. God gave me numbers, God gave me months, God gave me an age, God gave me information to help me see that actually this time right now, it all calculated to this time. So I'll give you May 14th to August 15th is the time frame for many people that are in this work to ascend and to fully integrate their heaven on earth in their reality. This is a major time. This summer is big, big. But I have to correct myself, because God didn't tell me it was going to be many people. God told me that it's going to be a few people. Many are called to this work. Many are called, but few are chosen to actually ascend in this way. Few are chosen, you all. Few are chosen to be experiencing this heaven on earth that was prophesied in Isaiah 65. This was prophesied for us, the new heavens and the new earth. We are told that the things of the past will no longer be remembered. We are told that this prosperity, this wealth, this perfect health, this longevity of life, the blessing and the anointing of our generations here and forevermore, eternally, are happening. It is happening. It is coming through. And I wish you all could really see what I see and hear what I hear. But you're not in my body, you're not in my mind, so you can only take my word for it. And even that, I encourage you to test my words and test the spirit that you feel coming through my mouth, because that's something we're going to talk about in this video. There are going to be people and environments that are counterfeit, that appear as heaven on earth, but they're really not. Once you actually dissect it and test the spirit, they're actually going to show up empty. So this is a part of understanding, am I settling in areas in my life that appear amazing, that appear exceptional, but yet they're not? After testing the spirits, after testing the energetics of these experiences or these people, realizing that they're not. Do the same with me too. The words that I talk about and the oracles that I share with you, you should not blindly believe them. You should be testing them too. You should be opening up your Bible. You should be learning. You should be asking God for clarification and confirmation of what I'm saying. But what channeled through for me was so powerful. And I won't get into the details, because again, it was very clear that it was for a few people. And how can I say this? It was for not only me, but the people that are closely working with me in my stratosphere, or the people that are doing very similar work. They may not be working with me, but they are doing this work. And what work am I talking about? Really getting clear on understanding who God is, understanding the energetics of God, understanding the frequency of God, understanding the frequency of Christ, understanding this cycle of dying off, letting the old identity die off, burying that, and then allowing yourself to be reborn and resurrected, and coming into this cycle is really what I have discovered is the key to knowing how to have authority over your universe, aka master manifest in your universe. This is the key. Getting in the flow with God, getting in this divine calling, getting in this divine flow, aligning with divine truth is the key to having authority over your universe and manifesting. It's big, you guys. A lot of manifestation coaches aren't talking about this, and they're encouraging people to manifest from their will, through their hearts, but they're not in full alignment with divine truth. So what I've noticed, and I've tested this out, you all, I've tested it out. What I've noticed is people manifest without acknowledging that they're co-creating with God at all. And they may manifest some things, but those things dissolve, or those things don't have full substance. Those things aren't fully fruitful because they weren't aligned with God's will. So if what I'm saying makes no sense to you, which I'm sure it does, but if it doesn't, like if you're brand new and you're like, what does this woman talk about? Go back a few videos and try to understand my perspective. So why I bring this up is because when we settle for things, even unknowingly, and we are settling for lower frequencies, lower vibrational experiences, we are not allowing ourselves to be fully aligned in this Godspeed lane, right? This heaven on earth experience, this realm with God, where we are co-creating, where we are manifesting. And the settle keeps you out of the flow, which then dilutes your authority in your universe. It also dilutes the quality of your life. Like, we're not here for that. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the fully electric life, the fully magical life, the fully easeful and effortless manifestation flow life possible. And I have understood over time that the only way to get there and to be protected in that and be covered in that is to align with God as much as possible. Every day seeking God, seeking God, seeking God, seeking God, seeking God. And it never stops. And communing and seeking more and trying to understand more and learn more and learn more. You will never find a day where you say, okay, I know who God is fully. Like, it's an everyday curious adventure to get into the flow. But once you're there, it's like, yo, I'm here. I'm here. Things are flowing. Pain is not there anymore. You may come across painful experiences. You may come across painful conversations or weird circumstances, but the biological response, the emotional response to the pain is not like it was before. The pain feels like a figment in your experience versus feeling real. And you know what I'm talking about. You know when pain feels real because you feel it on a gut level, you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your back, you feel it in your head, you feel it in all, you just feel it. You feel the biological response of this pain. But once you're fully in this flow, that same pain, you will see the painful experience. We can't avoid painful experiences. We are human. We live on this earth. But the pain, the reaction in the body will feel like a figment. It won't feel real. And you will really see the illusion of pain, period. Like, this is the vibe. I want y'all to be here. I'm kind of all over the place. Okay, we're at like 17 minutes. So these dates, May 14th to August 15th, this summer is the time. This is why this is a major call to not settle for anything. This is the time for the chosen few to transcend and to tap into their prosperity, their wealth, their perfect health, their divine union, their joy, their peace, their manifestation flow, their heaven on earth. This is the time. And I'm so excited for those of you who actually believe it, who are doing this work, because this work is not easy, but we're doing it. For those who are experiencing this and can feel this wave of ascension, because I know it's not just for me, and I know it's not just for my Godfidence Clinic members. I know it's not just for some of our Heaven on Earth VIP members. I know this can be more accessible, but we have to tap in. We have to stop settling, okay? What is the sign that you're settling? Let's talk about the signs. I didn't even write this down. What did I write down, y'all? Hold on. I don't write things down anymore, but let's see. Maybe I did. Yes. So a sign that you're settling is that you're saying, you know what? This is not really what I want. This is not making me happy. This does not feel aligned, but I'm going to wait until this event happens. I'm going to wait until I get this money, or I'm going to wait until so-and-so moves, or I'm going to wait until I move, or I'm going to wait until so that I can, right? So that I can release this thing I'm settling for in my life. Like if you have these things, these like you kind of rationalize the calculations and the timelines of when you're going to release the thing you're settling for, or when you're going to shift out of settling for this thing or this person or this experience or this job or this whatever, that's a sign that you're settling and you are allowing yourself to be comfortable in the settle. Tapping out of the settling vibration has to be self-initiated. You have to say, you know what? I'm tired of settling. I'm tired of putting it off until the thing happens so that it can give me the green light to do it. I'm here to tell you that the green light is now. I'm here to tell you that I continue to see very clearly, based on what God has been gifting me with and communicating with me, that the time is now to stop settling. If you want to catch this wave this summer specifically, this is a call and a wake-up call for you to stop putting it off, to do it immediately. There's urgency here. There's urgency. Do you want to spend however much longer settling? What if that thing doesn't come through? What if that money doesn't come through? Or what if that move doesn't happen? Then what? Right? I notice a lot of people are settling in relationships that are not feeling at all divinely anointed. They're not feeling like they want to be with this person for long term, but yet, oh, their birthday's coming up in a month and I don't want to do it before their birthday because then that would be mean and rude. And then, or, oh, we had this trip planned, so maybe after the trip, then we'll do. There should be no wait. There should be urgency here. And I don't even like using the word should, but again, the messages I've been getting through and that I've been channeling have been so potent and they've been harsh. And I feel God putting kind of this harsh urgency on those who want to be chosen, right? There's a lot of people online talking about they're chosen too. They're not all chosen, okay? Because they're not all doing this work. They don't all have urgency when it comes to snapping out of settling for the things that they know are not aligned with the life that they're creating and manifesting with God. Like they know it, but yet they're still settling for it. I heard these clear words: in order to be chosen, because it's not some lucky thing. People aren't just chosen out of luck. They're chosen because they're choosing this life. They're choosing this flow with God. They're choosing to surrender the things that are not working with faith that they will be supported and protected as they release these things. God is inviting you to detox, to get rid of things that you're settling for. So the first sign is that you're putting it off and you have excuses as to why you haven't yet released this thing you're settling for out of your life. That's the first. The second is that it appears to be great, whether it be a person, a partner, a friend, a job opportunity, a house opportunity. It appears to be great, okay? The appearances are great. It feels great. Like when you interact with it, it feels good. But you feel that there's something off and you can't put your finger on it and you don't really know, but there's something deep down inside. Like if you were to close your eyes and really ask yourself, how do I feel about this thing or this person or this opportunity? And you let it settle, there's going to be a slight, like you got to get quiet for this, because with this refined work, it requires precision and it requires getting so clear on discernment of what feels just slightly off. And the more you do this work to refine, the more you're going to feel those little subtle things that just feel off. So for you, does the person feel off just a little bit? Like they're saying everything right, all the boxes are checked on the checklist, everything is appearing amazing, but yet you can't put your finger on it. And so maybe your friends are telling you, oh, it's just your insecurity, or oh, maybe you're just expecting the worst, or oh, you need to affirm that it's going to work out, right? Like you may have people or yourself around you or voices in you telling you, you know what, no, bypass that little thing you're feeling in your spirit. Bypass that, because maybe it's your past trauma, maybe you're self-sabotaging, maybe you're insecure, maybe you're being negative, right? But yet you still can't shake that little feeling. That feeling is telling you something. And you may have come across a counterfeit version of that thing that is actually on the other side of you turning down the counterfeit. Okay? You feel me? You vibing with me? Many times when we are shifting into our heaven on earth, when we are shifting into this transformed lifestyle, transformed mind, transformed body, transformed money, transformed everything, many times, this has happened to me so many times, I see it all the time with my clients and people, just in general. The counterfeit version of the thing that you've been manifesting comes through first. It comes through first. And it appears to be the thing, but something's off, and it's not the thing. And the only way you will find out if it's not the thing is by you asking yourself, does this feel off? Because the thing that was sent by God, the thing that you are divinely manifesting, that is a true match to the thing you've been manifesting with God, will not feel off. It won't feel off. There won't be something that feels off about it if you really tap in and really ask yourself. It's going to feel easeful, it's going to feel natural, it's going to feel fluid, it's going to feel right. But if you've come across something that feels a little off, that's alerting you that this could be a counterfeit, trying to pose as the real thing when it's not. Why do counterfeit spirits come through? Why do these energies come through to try to throw you off? No, you didn't manifest this. No, you're not doing anything wrong. This is really just a test of your discernment and a test of your faith. And so I see many people saying yes to the counterfeit. And then the counterfeit doesn't expose itself until it could take years, you guys. I've engaged with counterfeits, so I know. It could take a while for this counterfeit to fully be exposed and for you to open your eyes and see it. Who's trying to waste time and energy and money, possibly, on something that is not the real deal? You will know you're settling. You will just feel it in your spirit. And this is something you can take to God and ask God to give you clear signs and make it clear and make it straightforward and make it simple and plain for you. And ask God, is this a counterfeit or is this the real deal? Ask God about me. Ask about Alicia. Is Alicia a counterfeit? Is Alicia working with counterfeit spirits to share the oracles of God? Or is she really grounded in divine truth? You will get the answer. What are some signs of counterfeit energies working through people? Trying to pose as this thing when it's really not, which will ultimately make you settle and ultimately lead you down a path away from what you're actively manifesting with God. The first sign is the counterfeit will usually come for you, right? And maybe forcefully. It may forcefully come in, and not disrespectfully forcefully, but they'll persistently be there. So it may match what you've been affirming, right? Like, my SP is persistent about me. My SP chases me. My SP is da-da-da-da-da for me, right? And so it may present as that. And not all things that are pursuing you and persistent about you are counterfeit. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to have discernment. When you feel something or someone kind of just coming in out of nowhere, and there's this urgency and there's this kind of forcing, persistent experience, it's something to question. It's something to test. You need to test the spirits. Okay, you have to test the energies that are coming through. Another sign is that you may start to feel just slightly insecure. And this goes with what I was talking about. Like, you're feeling something in your gut, but then you're questioning yourself. And you're like, well, maybe I'm self-sabotaging, and maybe I'm this, and maybe I'm that, and maybe I'm turning this into something that I shouldn't be in. And it has you questioning yourself, and then you'll get yourself caught up in this kind of whirlwind of confusion. If you feel confusion coming up around this experience, this person, this opportunity, that tells you that it may be a counterfeit, because God is not the author of confusion. God is the author of clarity. It will feel precise, it will feel clear, feel natural, feel real. I didn't even say, I made that all one word, but that's it will feel real, it will feel true. It will not lead you into a place of confusion, and it will not lead you away from God. in any way. It will not lead you away from your clarity in God. It will not lead you away from feeling good with God. It won't lead you away from that. Another sign that it's a counterfeit is if it, or the person or whatever, comes through, does like a love bombing situation, right? Doses you with all of this love, these gifts, these, or these offers. Maybe it's a job and they have all of these amazing offers and we give you this salary and these benefits and this many days off and da 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 da. But if you actually accept the offer or accept the person in your life and something happens, right? Or you start to feel worse, because counterfeit energies will ultimately make you feel worse, because the whole goal of counterfeit spirits is to take you away from your divine flow with God. So you will inevitably start to feel worse. And then you go to this person or this source or this institution for support and they vanish. Either they're not available, or they can't really offer you support, or they literally ghost you, maybe even block you. That's a sign that you have dealt with a counterfeit spirit that was working through that vessel to pose and present themselves as a real deal when they're not. It's empty. This is big, you guys. Like, this is big, because this is how people settle, because they get so excited thinking that they manifested this and willed this into their lives. And it came in and they think it's what they manifested, and they jump into it because they're so excited. They're feeling so victorious and successful. And then it kind of dwindles or dissolves, or it causes issues because they prematurely accepted this offer without testing the energies and really dissecting the energetics that this thing was coming with. It happens so much. And some people will say, well, aren't you just expecting negativity to come in? Aren't you just expecting da-da-da? No, I'm going based off of divine truth. This is all biblically referenced. We are warned many, 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 many times that when you're on this walk with God, when you're in this flow with God, when you are getting closer with God, when you are getting your gifts activated in God, when you are developing authority over your universe through Jesus, when you're there are going to be spirits that it agitates in the spirit realms. That's just how it is. These spirits are going to come through and try to interfere and kill, steal, and destroy your elevation, your rapid elevation, and your rapid increase in energetic and spiritual ranking. These energies and entities do not want you to elevate. They just don't. And this is a part of spiritual warfare. It's just a part of life. And someone could contradict what I'm saying and say that I'm being negative and I'm expecting negative and demons don't exist unless you make them and da 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 da. To me, that's gibberish. It's nonsense, because I know this stuff is real. And so I'm all about getting as spiritually, energetically, psychologically, emotionally, and intellectually wise as possible, so that you can see way beyond, like miles ahead, before any counterfeit energies try to come in and basically trap you into a life that is a settle. When you are not here to settle, you are not here to live a good life, an average life, and mediocre life, a stagnant life, because when you settle, it creates stagnancy. And when you settle, it actually deteriorates you, because in your spirit, you know there's better. You know God has better for you, but yet you have settled for what's not for you. And that just does things to your spirit that are unnecessary, and you don't need that. You don't need those problems. So if you find yourself actively with a counterfeit experience right now, this is your opportunity to release it. Like, you have the green light to get out, to get out and release and detox and purge the things in your life that you're settling for. Because again, this is a time for massive ascension for some people who are serious about this work, who have urgency to enjoy the fruits of all of this labor you've put in, to shift your mindset, to shift your body, to shift your spirit, to be purified, to be refined. Like, you should be experiencing the rewards and the fruits of this labor. And here are some very refined ways you can release things once and for all to make room for new things to come in. Because when we purge and we detox and we release what we're settling for, guess what? It leaves a wide open door for the things to flow in that you've actually been manifesting. The true form of those things, the real version of those things, not the counterfeit version. And once you start to question, is this a counterfeit or not? And once you start to dissect and start to test these spirits, I promise you, you'll be able to see a counterfeit without having to do all of that. Like, I feel very confident in my ability to see through things and see through illusions and be able to detect, is that counterfeit energy? Because if it is, there's no point in engaging with it, and there's definitely no point in keeping it in my life. What are some other signs that you're settling? Maybe you just overall don't feel fulfilled. Like, that's kind of a self-explanatory thing, but maybe you're not feeling like every piece of your life is fulfilled, right? We have the different pieces of the pie. We got our social life, our romantic life, our spiritual life, our career life, our financial life, we have all the pieces of the pie, right? And in my perspective, a full life, a full life of fulfillment and contentment and joy and just and this is what magnetizes us to attract even more in, is when these pieces of the pie feel complete. They feel fulfilled. And let me be so clear, that doesn't mean that you have your marriage and your perfect job and your perfect home and your perfect kids and and everything is here now. That's not what that means at all. So let's clear that up really quickly. Certain parts of your pie may not be fully manifested in full perfect form in the way you want. However, this piece still feels complete. How is that possible? Let's take relationships, for example. You may not have your full marriage. Like, I don't have my full marriage right now. But yet, all of my pieces of my pie feel fulfilled. Why? Because I know who my husband is. How? Because I've experienced him energetically. I know him. I've tapped into him. God gifted me with that ability to really feel him and know him, so that when he does fully show up in physical form, I will know him like that. Like, it will be so obvious and easy. Me knowing this and me knowing the promises that God gave and knowing that God is fulfilling all of his promises in my life, because I've seen it. Like, I have evidence of the promises being fulfilled. So why would it stop now? And if you don't know the promises, this is when you start reading the word. If you really are serious about this, start reading the Bible, because it's all up in there. And that's what channeled through a few days ago, is the promises from God. They are here. God promises people. God promises these things to us. God prophesied heaven on earth. And it's available for you. Major promises that I've tapped into that I know are coming in is that I will be with my counterpart. Like, that is a thing. It's true. It's obvious. It's real. God has given me evidence energetically so that I can actually tap into it in my body. But just because this person has not fully physically manifested as my husband in my 3D does not mean there's a void there or it's incomplete. That part of the puzzle is complete. That part of the pie is complete because I know this promise is already fulfilled. So I don't think about it. I don't fret about it. Sometimes I think about it, but I don't worry about this piece of my life. I know it's fulfilled already, which when you know something's complete, then that means you can go on about your day and you can enjoy, your amazing life because you know this is fulfilled, right? I also know that I'm supposed to be rich. Like, I know that riches are a part of my life in this lifetime. I know that. I see evidence of wealth building in my life. Am I at my peak of my riches and my prosperity? No, but do I know it's a promise that's coming? Yes. So this part of the pie is fulfilled because I see the flow of money. I see miracles happening, like being able to pay off my car when I still had many, many months to pay it off, but I was able to pay it off before the car loan was complete. The financing agreement was complete. I was able to prematurely pay it off. Like, these are things that may seem little, but they're big things for me. And they're big evidence to show that things are becoming complete in my financial life. I have savings. My kids have savings. My kids have trust funds now. My kids have college funds now. I'm saving money. I'm living. I get to take vacations. I don't have to worry about money now. Like, this is massive, right? So for you, are there any pieces of the pie that feel unfulfilled, where you do feel voids? That tells you that there's a settle in that area. And then the next question is, well, how am I settling in this area? How am I settling? Maybe the answer is you completely hate your job and hate all your coworkers, and you would rather be doing anything but that, but you have to make the money. Do you see the major settle there? That's a major settle. What is the solution? To quit the job. Like, I'm not here to tell people to quit their job, but I'm definitely here to tell you to quit your job. Like, if you've come to terms with the fact that you don't want this job, you don't like this job, you're only here for the money, that is an opportunity to get some urgency and say, you know what? I released this job. For what? If you know, again, if you can tap into God's promises, and you know that God promises abundance, promises prosperity in your life, and if you know your heart is on connecting with God more, not just so that you can manifest, but just so that you can have a free, beautiful life, right? If you know that, and you know that you're building your faith, and you know that you want to have this life of abundance, it is time to decide that these promises are for you too. It's time to decide that. I'm telling y'all, this is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to settle. This is not the time to put it off. And you don't have to believe me, but I'm seeing evidence of it, not only in my life, but in my clients' lives. Like, major things are popping off for people. One of our Godfidence members who just finished the Godfidence clinic, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things happening. Like, she moved, she didn't know she was gonna move. She moved to this luxury building with all the amenities that she could think of. She got promoted at her job. Things are happening in her family. Like, major miracles are happening in her and her family's lives. I mean, life-changing, life-saving miracles. I mean, a family member being taken out of a lethal situation and being fully restored, and continually actively being restored now. But this work and this focus on becoming one with God and being in this God frequency and this God wave, it does, it's crazy. It's miraculous. Like, it's just the way it ripples into our lives and into the people that we love. It aligns with the promises that God gives. Like, it aligns with the promises. So that's why I'm like, yo, this is a major wake-up call for those of you who are ready, because it's time, you guys, it's time. And another fun fact is that the 2 dates that that had channeled through this time frame between May 14th and August 15th, May 14th happens to be Mother's Day. August 15th happens to be a holiday, usually like in European countries, because they don't do it in America. But it's a holiday that is celebrating the ascension of Mary, Jesus' mother Mary, the ascension of Mary into the heavens to become one with God. Mother's Day, Mother Mary, ascension, heaven on earth being integrated into our realm, into our reality. For those of you who are tapped in, for those of you who are doing this work and actually seeing the evidence of it. I have another client today that I just talked to that gave me such amazing news, y'all. She's doing major things out here. Can't give too much information because it's confidential, obviously, but to sum it up in a very confidential way, she has been working on securing a contract for 5 years. And all this 5 years, she got turned down before, but we started working together. She started releasing, she started purging, she started getting rid of the things that she was settling for. She started shifting, getting closer to God. She started following the oracles that I was channeling to align with God more, to align with righteousness more, to align her heart on God, and to feel, where God was inviting her to. She is fully aligning into her divine calling in her career, in her business. and she just found out that she got this contract secured, and she was like chosen, like tens of people were chosen out of hundreds of people. Many are called, few are chosen. She was chosen for this contract, which allows her to be in a position that will impact so many people. Like, it's just, it's absolutely amazing. And this is why I like working with leaders, because the work that leaders do impacts potentially millions of people, right? So, wow. And this is a side note, because I made an Instagram story or video or TikTok or whatever. There's too many platforms about this, because many people get caught up, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So maybe you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you said, I'm not settling for this 9 to 5 and I want to create my own business. Maybe you did that. And then maybe you got to going with your business, and then you started seeing that the likes and the follows and the audience is not where you want it to be. Or maybe it peaked, but then it's dwindling. I can relate to that. Y'all can see my channel. It feels like it's dwindling. But again, this is a beautiful example, a counterfeit experience of impact, right? Likes and views and an audience and a fan base is a counterfeit, potentially, not always, but sometimes it can serve as a counterfeit way of knowing that you're impacting people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you can get millions of views. So it appears like you're impacting the world. But if it's a trending millions of views, and then tomorrow you just fall off, did you really impact the world? Or did you just feed these millions of viewers impulse and indulgence for a very short period of time? Right? Because viral things, they trend, they go viral. It's fast, it's impulsive, it's indulging, and then, you know, it might fall off. Versus, you don't maybe have many views, you don't maybe have a big audience, but yet your work is impacting millions of people, because maybe you're working with leaders like I do. I love working with leaders because of this, because I know that the work we're doing and the shifts that leader is making is rippling into the people that they're leading, the people that they're guiding, the people that they're impacting, their employees and their employees' families and their customers and their products and their clients, and right? Like, just imagine the ripple effect. So this is that's a great way to really reframe how you feel like you're impacting the world through your work, through your product, through your service, through your content. And back to settling, because that's the whole point of this video. If you feel like you are settling for a business or content creation that doesn't feel fully aligned with your calling, your divine purpose, but you're doing it for the views, right? Look at that. That's a settle, right? So that could appear to be, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. You're so popular. You got so many views. Oh, you got so many sales. But yet, do you feel like you are in your full divine purpose and you're actually sharing your gifts in a way that you feel is connected with your spiritual calling? Or is this a counterfeit experience of counterfeit fame, right? Ooh, yeah. Which ultimately is a settle. So it doesn't appear as a settle, just like many counterfeit experiences don't appear as a settle, because they're going to be goals for many people around you. And if you decide to kind of like redirect your focus on something else away from this counterfeit experience, you may get blowback, you may get feedback from your people like, why would you turn that down? Why are you sabotaging this? What is wrong with you? It's this, it's that, it's that, it's that. Why would you choose not to? But you know in your spirit, it's a settle. It's a settle. We're living in a time where appearances and the illusions of appearances are trumping truth, right? So on Refind You, we're not here for that. We're here to allow the truth to trump any appearance of something being good. Because if you're not energetically feeling connected and aligned with this experience, meaning it doesn't feel energetically aligned with what you know you desire, what you know you're manifesting. If something feels off, it is probably a settle, and you don't have to do it, and you can release it. And I promise you this, the more you release, the more you will be blessed. The more you release, the more of your manifestations that maybe you've been intending on for years, the more they'll just come through effortlessly, because you got rid of the clutter, you got rid of the superficial or the counterfeits, you got rid of the stuff that was not aligned with your heaven on earth that you've been manifesting. Many of you are here, like you're right here, but it's like max capacity, right? The building that you're in right now has max capacity. And it's like, in order for this manifestation to come through the door, you just got to release some of the people that don't belong in this maxed out capacity building. Like, just send them stage left, exit door left. Thank you for coming. You are appreciated. But our time is up here. You can go now. And bring in these beautiful experiences that are awaiting you. I promise you, you will not regret it. Stop shuttling. Okay, I think I got to the point. Did I get to all the points? Let me see. I don't have many points. Yeah, just back to initiation, right? This requires self-initiation. Many people feel like this life of flow and magic and miracles is just going to jump on their lap because they're affirming all day. It requires you initiating this refinement, initiating this purification, because many people are affirming things into their lives from a lower vibrational space because they haven't yet purified themselves. So they're not even seeing clearly what they could be manifesting, right? They're stuck on manifesting like the mediocre, or manifesting things that would lead them into a settling life because they still haven't yet initiated this work to truly surrender, and truly let God divinely reorganize your thoughts, your desires, your heart, so that what you're calling on to is actually what's supposed to be in your heaven on earth experience. If you want help with this, if you are feeling what I'm saying, but you're like, girl, I'm blinded to, I know I'm settling, but I'm not able to pinpoint what it is, or I'm not able to understand the solution here. I don't know how to shift out of this. You know, maybe you've been in these habits for way too long, or maybe you are just wanting to speed up your process because you feel the urgency, but you're feeling a little stuck. Maybe you just want support getting there. Maybe you want somebody alongside you that has higher level discernment to see through to the illusions and the obstructions and the deceptions, because many times when we're in it, we have blind spots. And so there's people like me who can pinpoint the blind spot like that, because I'm not in your mind. I don't have the blind spots you have because I'm outside of you, right? So if you're looking for that support, that's what my Accelerated Confidence Clinic is for. That's what we're here for. This is the time. I am calling on to you. If you feel like this is something that you're ready for, and you may not be all the way ready for it, but you know you're ready to invest in yourself in a way that will get you to your highest timeline quickly, efficiently, with support, with a collective of people who are doing it too, and with me, who is channeling these messages to help guide you even further. So this clinic does not just involve spiritual stuff, because if it's strictly spiritual, I wouldn't be charging for it. But this involves psychology, neuroscience, genetic patterning and programming. This involves understanding how to work through the energetics of all of that. This involves emotional intelligence, skill building. This involves understanding who you are as a human, and then understanding who you are as a divine vessel of God, and understanding how to bring both of those together so you can easily navigate your earthly circumstances to get as connected to the life of your dreams. It's available for you. I promise you it is, but you have to be willing to do it. You have to want it. And even if you don't hire a coach like me, it's time to release what you're settling for. Like, seriously. Like, if you didn't get anything out of this message, I hope you get this: to stop settling. What you want is on the other side. You know that meme. Everybody knows the meme where, you know, the little teddy bear, the little girl has a little teddy bear and she's holding on to the little teddy bear. But then on the other side, who is it? Jesus standing there? I forget who's standing there. But she doesn't want to let go of the little teddy bear. And the person standing there is trying to get the teddy bear from her so that they could bring this big gift of a teddy bear into her life. But she can't see it, right? So she's settling for the little teddy bear because this is probably the best teddy bear she's had up until this point. But she has no idea that on the other side, she has something that is just going to fill her up even more. It's kind of the same vibe as that, right? Like this thing you're settling for may feel like the best thing compared to what you had. But think about, what am I comparing it to? Am I comparing this thing to complete toxicity, abuse, demonics, low vibrations? Because why are we comparing to that? Like, of course, this thing is going to look shiny and amazing and great compared to that trash, right? But why are we comparing it to trash? This is a beautiful exercise you can do. Compare the thing that you have right now. And this isn't coming from an ungrateful space, right? This isn't coming from a space of entitlement or lack of gratitude. None of that. I'm only speaking to you. If you feel that thing in you that knows is stirring up, it knows you're settling. It knows that this is not the thing for you. Okay, you've already established that. Now look at the thing that you're slightly settling for, even if on a slight level, and then compare that to the actual heaven on earth experience of what you want, right? And if it's a person, then you would compare that person to the better version of that person, right? Because you may not be able to fathom someone else because you may be in love with this person. But compare this person to the person who's totally in flow with God, who's totally in flow with their heaven on earth, who is totally in flow with their divine calling and their abundance and their anointing and their all of the things. Compare this thing to this version to that version. If there's a huge discrepancy there, that is telling you that this is a settle, right? So yeah, that's all I got. We're almost at an hour. I love y'all. We will talk soon, and I promise you I will upload my self-deliverance video in my Demonogenics playlist in the next couple days. Last video I said it was going to be in a few days. I'm still working on it. I'm still channeling to make sure that I get every single step of that process precise for you, because I don't want to skip any steps or bypass anything that would be really important in that process. Like, self-deliverance is a really important process. So for those of you who are awaiting that, I promise it will come soon. And until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Love you. And be sure again to check out Ana Luisa Jewelry, y'all. Okay, Refined20 is the promo code. Get yours. And this is a side note, so I'm bringing it from the depths of spirituality into jewelry, which is fine because we can do all things. These are perfect. So I told you these are gold plated, right? So all of their jewelry, they also have solid gold jewelry as well, but their more affordable jewelry is all gold plated. I love these because I can travel with these. I find it hard to travel with my really like my real solid gold jewelry or my really good diamonds, because I don't want it to get lost, you know, don't want it to get stolen out of my bags, whatever. So these are perfect to travel with because they hold up like gold. You can get in the water with them. You can do what you want with them. And if you happen to lose them, it's not like you're losing thousands of dollars, right? Like, this is such a vibe, you guys. I love you so much. Bye.